Howdy folks, I wanted to do a video using the Guns of the West paper cartridge kit, but instead of using the paper cartridge papers that he provides, just curious if coffee filters, which he says you can use, how they compare to those. So with these, it's all pretty easy. You cut them in half and you follow his instructions. When you cut them in half, it comes to about 1 inch by 1 3/4. So I'm just gonna eyeball it. That seems to be working pretty good. So I've already made a couple with these. Now, when you're making them, the fact that you got these ripples, if you're not gonna nitrate the paper and do all that, if you're just gonna do it the way I just did it there, those ripples make it a little more difficult to roll. And here's another piece off of like the edge. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut a square here. So that'll be your bottom, and then I'm just going to clip the corners and kind of make a figure, or not a figure eight, but an 8 here. That'll be kind of like his little circles. Let's be a little smaller though. So there we go. It's not perfect, but that's what I've been trying, and it seems to be working okay. So all the parts that come with the kit, I've done a video on this. There's all kinds of videos out there on how this works, so I'm not going to really explain it. I'm just going to do it. Rolled here. You can trim this a little. You won't be able to push down as far with these as you do with the ones that come with the kit, and then you have to push them back out. What I do is I get the former down part way, and then I'm putting my thumb on the paper itself, then pulling out, and I push it on all the way and kind of just push my paper to the ends. Flatten that out, because it tends to want to kind of stay in there and bunch up. Doesn't work quite as good as the papers he provides. So now you just pull it off the former, and it's time to grab your funnel. I'm loading it with 3F Pioneer powder that I acquired recently. You use the powder measure that comes with the kit. I don't fill this quite full. I find that it's supposed to hold 17 grains by volume. It seems to work better with round balls with a little less. So it probably amounts to about 16 grains. I don't measure it out perfectly. I take my Hornady .375 round ball. Set that in there, push it down a little. Now usually with the other kind you just push like this and it'll pop out. With these coffee filter papers, it's not doing that. In fact, when you pull it out, Yep, happened again. The round ball just pushed the paper down. It's not really enveloped by the paper, so you have to pull the paper up with your fingernails, and then it'll work. So I'm going to let that dry. So we'll take them out and shoot them. I've already made, that'll be the third one. I'll make 3 more, and then we'll try shooting them and see what happens. But so far I'd say that for the extra work and then having to deal with the ripples and stuff in these, it's worth your $4 to buy the spare paper cartridge kit papers that Guns of the West sells. But this whole thing is 100 papers in here. It was $7 on Amazon. Just say $8. Between 7 and 8. And if you drink coffee and you can use these and that, and you might already have these, you can save yourself a couple bucks. But I don't know if it's worth the problem or not. But we'll see how they shoot, and then we'll know for sure. As you can see, those coffee filter paper cartridges in my 1851 Navy, they worked just fine, you know, just really cheap per shot especially. Still a lot of work to get them together, but they work great. And as far as like cleanup, there wasn't any more paper inside the chambers than using the cigarette papers or whatever that come with the kit. So they work great. I didn't nitrate them or anything. They just work. Not really sure they're worth the bother. They're harder to use, but if you got the time, they work great. I would have done more filming of the loading procedure and everything else, but it was about 10 degrees out there again, and pretty stiff wind was coming, and last day of muzzleloader season, so I hunted for a little while and then headed home, and I shot this quick just to see what would happen. So that's why there's just the shooting and that's it. But so anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and keep shooting. Thanks.